Now, two properties in Los Angeles and Miami connected to rapper Sean Combs, also known as P. Diddy or Puff Daddy, were raided on Monday by the Department of Homeland Security. Officials have not specified the reason for the raid. However, there have been also many lawsuits that have accused Mr. Combs of sexual misconduct. His attorneys have previously denied all of the allegations made against him. Earlier spoke to Meghann Cuniff, a legal affairs journalist in the Los Angeles area. I started by asking her to outline what we know so far about those raids.
Federal authorities with Homeland Security have executed search warrants at locations in Los Angeles and Miami that are associated with Sean Combs, Diddy, the music mogul, business mogul that got his start as Puff Daddy in the music world. This comes amid heightened attention to Diddy because of lawsuits that have been filed against him about sexual assault allegations, sex trafficking allegations, some really serious allegations that began back in November with a lawsuit that grabbed a lot of attention from his former girlfriend, Cassie, who's a well-known R&B singer. She enlisted a well-known law firm in New York City, and they unveiled a serious lawsuit against Diddy that outlined all sorts of abuse that had happened over a number of years. And there were some sex trafficking allegations in there. And there have been subsequent lawsuits, similar lawsuits filed since then. And the question has always been, is he facing possible criminal charges because of this? There's was rumors of a possible NYPD investigation right when the Cassie lawsuit came out, but then that was squelched through a public statement. But just the tone of these allegations in the lawsuit and the seriousness of it has always just begged the question of whether there's going to be a criminal investigation into this. And this today is our first confirmation that there definitely is a criminal investigation involving something related to Diddy. And I think it's important that we say that we don't know for sure if he is specifically the target of the investigation. We just know that properties owned by LLCs, companies associated with him, have been targeted. But just given everything we know about all his other legal problems, it's hard not to connect the two.
How significant is it that we're seeing the Department, Homeland Security, take a step like this?
It's very significant. This is definitely upping the game and really turning this into much more than just a public relations nightmare for Diddy, but something that could be a real serious threat to his freedom. To serve these search warrants, they had to have gotten authorization from a magistrate judge, and to get that authorization in federal court, the standards are pretty high to present evidence to a judge to authorize them to go into someone's private property and remove items and just root through it, basically. They needed to show that they had probable cause and reason to believe that they could find something in there that would further this investigation. So if they've already gotten that authorization, this just shows that there's something going on there, and they've already taken some substantial investigative steps to get to where they are now. And who knows what they're going to find in these homes. Obviously, they have reason to believe they're going to find something incriminating in there, and it's just going to depend on what they find and then how long it takes them to put something together after that.
Quite some striking images, aerial footage of the raids, both in Los Angeles and Miami properties thought to be owned by Mr. Combs. And, you see heavily armed officers, they are entering the homes, they are searching, and we see people being put in handcuffs. Do we know if Mr. Combs was at any of the homes?
We do not know for sure. I've seen footage of him walking in Miami. I've seen, and then there's talk of a jet that's associated with him that's been leaving, but we have no confirmation of where actually he is right now. And his camp has been pretty tight-lipped. I know one of his attorneys in Los Angeles, Sean Hawley, is a well-known attorney who's represented a lot of other celebrities in cases, and she and I have actually been talking about other lawsuits, here and there, and she's not hard to get a hold of. She has not responded to any request for comment tonight. night, and it's been several hours. So I think right now her camp is circling the wagons, because while I think it would be naive of them to not know that they were under criminal investigation, or at least suspect something, and then it very well could be the reason that Diddy hired Sean Hawley is because he knew of some criminal investigation. The federal authorities in the United States want to work under the surprise element. They like the element of surprise. So it's pretty safe to say that they were surprised by the raids today.
Just briefly, Meghann, if you may, remind our listeners of his legacy, of who this man is.
A lot of people remember Sean Combs and Diddy as Puff Daddy from the 1990s, and his friendship with the notorious B.I.G. and how he came on the rap scene through that. But he's really established himself as a music mogul, but then also a business mogul. He has many business investments, and he's a wealthy guy with a lot going on in terms of not only his music endeavors, but his business endeavors. So he's really established himself in the business world as someone, for sure.